Hey, what's up, guys? It's Danielle here from Hill Valley Time Machine, and we don't have our time machine here, but we do have a very special Back to the Future guest. This is William Winckler right here, and he was actually in the movie Back to the Future, Part 1. That's right. So we're going to start off by just asking, what did you do in the movie, and how did you get involved with the movie?
Anyway,
Yeah,
I worked for Central Casting, and I was one of the top kids there, and I worked in hundreds of movies and television shows and throughout the 80s, from 1983 till about 1988. At the beginning of my career, before I did anime and all these other things, I did these little bit parts in Back to the Future. You can barely see me, but I worked an entire week there in Courthouse Square as a 1955 Hill Valley teenager.
That's awesome. And you said you got to talk a little bit to the cast and see Crispin Glover and stuff like that. So my next question for you is, did the directors tell you what you had to do in the scene at all, or was it kind of like improvised? Like, were you like a school kid or like a mailman, or just like did you have a particular role, or did you do any improvising for it?
I didn't do any improvising. Mr. Zemeckis and the assistant directors would tell us what to do, and we did exactly what they told us to do.
Okay.
Whatever they wanted me to do, I did.
And then, just curious, was there anyone in the movie who really stood out behind the scenes to you? I know you're talking to the cafe owner and a little bit about Crispin Glover. Do you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, I remember I was talking to Crispin Glover. He was running around Courthouse Square kind of getting all excited, getting into that part that he was playing, to be nervous or whatever. And I remember talking to him, asking, why you're running around? You're going to be all sweaty. And he says, no, I got to get into the thing. And he kind of mentioned that to me. And Norm, who was the shop, malt shop owner, was the voice of Aquaman in Super Friends, and that really impressed me because I later got involved in animation. I was interested in animation,
right? And
that was fantastic.
Like iconic for you, yeah.
But those sets were amazing. The attention to detail.
Yes.
You would see products inside of shops' windows that were 1950s, and the camera never would have picked it up, and it was just amazing. And we all looked with my greased hair in the 1950s. I looked like a kid out of the 50s. It was an amazing thing.
We love the set decorations. We always discover something new when we're watching the movie, so we're always catching something brand new. But do you have any favorite memories of filming out there? Like anything that really stands out as a favorite thing?
Well, I remember when I first got into makeup and the hair and the costume and everything, all the grease in my hair and everything, I walked out of the dressing room, and I was on the set, and I was walking around towards Courthouse Square, and then here comes a giant Universal Studios tour bus, a big tram.
Oh, yeah.
And so the tram driver said, well, over to our left is Courthouse Square, and we're currently shooting a new movie called Back to the Future. Yeah. Oh, and there's one of our stars now.
Oh, wow.
And they pointed at me, and I'm like, oh, Jesus, I'm not one of these stars. and 100 Japanese tourists stood up in their seats, smiling, grinning from ear to ear, taking pictures of me as a 1950s, 55 Hill Valley teenager. So in Tokyo, Japan, there's a million pictures.
So those are out there somewhere.
Yes, and of course, the wardrobe department had pictures of all of us and how we looked, and I'd like to get some of those pictures.
Definitely, yeah, we love
but
that.
That was a lot of fun. Michael J. Fox worked like hell, and I also did some Family Ties later and saw him working, and he was incredible.
Yeah.
And also, I did an episode. I played a student in an Amazing Stories episode that Christopher Lloyd was in.
Yeah.
So
you got
it
to work
was
with all
really
of
an
them.
amazing thing. I did so much work at that time through Central that. Knight Rider, Murder, She Wrote, Fall Guy, Remington Steele, all these, Pretty in Pink, Weird Science, all these 1980s things.
Yeah.
But Back to the Future,
we love.
Back to the Future was different.
Yes.
Because you'd go in, when I was on that set, oh wow, everybody's the 50s. Oh, there's this car, and I was listening to dialogue, and it was like, this is really magical. This is something very unique about this. It was so much better than a lot of the stuff I was doing at the studios and the sitcoms. Some of those sitcoms were really, they were funny, but some of them were terrible.
Yeah.
And I didn't do the Under the Sea scenes with the dancing. I was supposed to be in that, but I was standing in for Jason Bateman on a situation comedy called It's Your Move, and I did the entire season of that.
Right
I
on.
would play Jason Bateman's part and for the NBC executives and during the rehearsals while he was in school, and then he would do the Friday night tapings of the two shows, and then they would put me in those episodes as a student or whatever. So I didn't do that, but I constantly working. After the show was finished, the original Back to the Future, I would sometimes walk to the parking lot if I'd be on some other show, and the skid marks of the DeLorean were
Oh,
still there.
that would be
The
cool to
sets were
see.
there, and I'd be all by myself walking through, the Courthouse Square.
We would have all loved to be there.
And there it was, and it was kind of like, wow. But every time I hear that music, Huey Lewis and the News, Power of Love, my memories when I hear that music are, I'm back 40 years ago, dressed up as that 1950s kid with the greasy stuff in my hair,
Yep.
walking around Courthouse Square with the clock tower, and seeing Biff and those guys getting into a fight with McFly. That's my memory.
Yeah.
It's automatic that
Stands
happens.
the test of time.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And I was
It's a
sitting
great
in I
one.
was sitting in the DeLorean, your wonderful car.
Thank you very much.
And it looked just like the thing that I remember from years
We
ago.
worked really hard on it.
Yeah.
To
Oh
try
my
to get the
God! It
details
looked just
right.
like the real thing. And I'm
Yeah.
sitting there, and it was amazing. It's been 40 years, and I was just a little nothing actor at that time. It was the beginning of my career. And you guys are all interested in hearing my stories.
Yeah,
and
we
everything else.
definitely
And it's
have a strong
amazing.
community here.
It's an amazing thing that I was a little part of this amazing movie.
Yeah.
Isn't that life is
Well,
weird. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone, to be honest.
So many
with
of
you.
us have met because of it, and we have our friendships and our families because of it, and it's really had
That's
a great
amazing.
impact overall. So we want to
Yeah.
thank you so much for being a part of it and
Well, thank
for the
you.
interview
I'm
and
glad that you invited
talking
me
to us and-
I'm glad you invited me to come to this thing. I kind of ignored it all these years. I thought it was just okay. I did it one and done, and that was
Yeah,
it.
well, we're glad to hear from you. So where can people find you if they want to find you on social media or hear any more of your stories or see your stuff?
I have some social media and such, but I'm also I have a lot of books out. I'm an author, so you can get my paperbacks on Amazon, and if you're interested in that. But I also have you found me on Instagram.
Yeah.
So I just started that up. My niece and nephew say you got to get more on social media,
Yeah.
Uncle Billy. So
Good idea.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
You're welcome.
See you in
It
the
was
see you in the future.
wonderful meeting you guys.
Yeah.
Now I got to go back to 1955.
Yeah,
you see,
back on the Courthouse
Biff's
Square.
causing some more trouble. I don't want to be anywhere near him.
No. Good idea.